Hey guys, my name is Roope and this is Our Time Now. Welcome. First of all, my heart is for young people, and I'm seeing a generation who has all that it takes to become the world-changing generation. But I'm seeing a generation who lacks vision and support. And that's why I want to speak to you, young people. I want to help you to get hold of that vision, and I want to tell that there is support available. So in this episode, I want to speak to you about generations. I have to start by saying that it took for some time for me to really understand that I don't really know you guys. As I've been leading with Youth with a Mission, YWAM, for 15 years or so, I've been leading in many different roles and levels and with all kind of different people from different nations, different languages, mainly young people. And it took some time for me to realize that I don't really know how to lead you guys because we are so different. And I was trying to make you to be like I am so that it would be easier for me to lead you. Until I realized that I cannot expect for the whole generation to become like mine. Because you are not made to be as I am. You are made to be something else. And let me try to help you to understand how different we are and how we need to find the level of communication where we can work together. So, first of all, you are a generation first among all the other generations that does not need the older generations to learn life skills or normal stuff. You have your device at your hand and you can always go to the Google and you can find the solutions and answers and all kind of wisdom. You can learn so much. And with that, you also have unlimited freedom of speech because your device gives that freedom to you. When I was young, I needed to go to my parents to learn new stuff. And my community where I lived, everybody was thinking about the same, about everything. So there was no need for me to share my thoughts. It was simple life. But for you, the world has become small. And you know languages, you know cultures, you live in a world that is at your hand. And because of that, you have to understand way more than the previous generation needed. You have to value life. You have to consider different worldviews. And because the neighbor might be thinking totally different from you, you feel that you need to share what you see in this life, in this world. And because of that, you are easily questioning the values of the previous generations. And it is a good thing, because we are not called to walk blindly and to keep on doing the same old. Because let me tell you one thing. The problems we are seeing in the world today are created by the previous generations. And if you keep on doing the same stuff, the problems are not going anywhere. But you are called to think differently. You are called to ask questions and to questionize the way of life we are seeing, so that you can become the answer to the problems of today. But then you also need to see and understand that because of the world has been different for you, and life has been many times more easy for you, and you have had more money at your hand than previous generations used to have when they were young. You have to learn to choose what you want and to get it right away. And that's another big difference between us. When I was young, I liked a song, I needed to buy the whole CD. And if you don't know what it was, the CD, please Google it. But now, for probably many years already, all of you have been buying only that one song you like. So when I needed to learn to suffer through all kind of things to get what I want, you have learned to get what you want and right away. And that is a huge difference. And that has made you to be a bit selfish or self-centered. And again, it's not something that you have chosen or that you want to be, but it is the culture around you that has made you to be who you are. So you should not blame yourself, and I should not blame you, because it was my generation who raised you up. It was my generation who made the world to be what it is so that it would be easier for you to live. And because of that, you have actually had an easier life. And that's why you are looking the world differently from my generation. And then all of this is affecting your way of seeing life and work and future. Your generation, you like to have short-term projects and not to tie yourself for lifelong career in one workplace. When my parents, if they got a permanent job, it was kind of like winning a lottery to have that safety and money and to know that the future is okay. You have learned to live with the world that is just open for you. You love traveling, you love seeing world, you love challenges, but at the same time adventures. And because of that, you rather keep your options open if there's something better coming to you. And this is difficult for my generation to understand. And then when you do work, you want to have a meaning for the job. You want to know why we are doing what we are doing, and it has to be important. You are not just willing to work for money. And also you want to work closely with your teammates, even your boss. You don't want to have authority style leadership who just comes to you and says that do this and then you just do it. You want to talk with them. You want to have close relationship with the boss of yours or the team around you. And together you are strong. And that's something that your generation is learning, to see the giftings in different people and to benefit different ways of seeing life or to different skills. And do you know what? The world is eagerly waiting for the people of God to become who they are called to be. Because the world, not only the believers, but the whole creation is waiting for your generation to step up and to take the leadership by showing the example of serving, loving, caring, and bringing the new ideas and innovations. I have faith in you guys, and I believe that you are called for such a time as this. But you need to understand that if you wait for the older generations to fix the problems they have created themselves, they will never fix them because they don't know how. You are the generation who's asking questions and willing to fix the problems because you see that the way of life the earlier generation was having was not actually good in the long run. So you have everything it takes. But you need to understand that you are called for bigger vision, bigger reason than just for yourself, building your own kingdom. And in this process of getting to understand your generation, I started to suddenly, I think God opened my eyes. I started to see your generation as a generation of entrepreneurs. What? Entrepreneurs. And what is that? A generation who is not willing to work from 8 to 4. A generation who is willing to give everything for the important thing. And I started to look at that. I was like, wow, what a generation. You guys can and you guys will change the world. And think about that. Who is an entrepreneur? He is a person who comes and sees the problems and is not waiting for someone else to fix the problems, but he's seeing an opportunity to do something cool and he becomes the solution to the problem. Entrepreneur is someone who's not afraid of risks. Entrepreneur is someone who's not playing safe. Do you know what? I think Jesus was the extreme entrepreneur. Think about it. He came to this world and he saw that it is a mess. There was so much pain, so much problems, all kind of things. And he was looking at it and he thought that, no, I didn't cause this. But he took the responsibility of that problem. And he said that I will be the answer to the problems of the world. And that's the spirit your generation is called to walk in. So at the end, why all of this is important? Because your generation, you know so much, but you don't really know how to live it. And that's the area where you need the previous generations to translate the understanding that you have about life into the experience about life that we have. And that is a lack that your generation is having. You know things, but you haven't lived it through yet. And that's why you are not confident, because you know yourself that I don't really know how to do it. And then you are afraid of taking the leadership, taking the responsibility. You rather work as a group so that no one really sees that you don't know everything or you don't know how to do it. And my advice for you is that look around you. Seek for people whose life has a fruit, who can teach you something. And then ask for that person to join you for coffee, for example. And ask questions. And ask that person to help you to become the man or woman of God you are designed to be. So keep on watching these videos and help me to help you to become the person you need to be, to see the bigger picture, the vision for you. Okay? And in the coming episode, I will be speaking to you about the church and the effect of the church in your life, and how the church is sometimes limiting you from being the servant of God you are called to be. So, you have been created for change. But remember, you need to choose to be the change before you can see the change. So, see you next time.